Welcome back to the Rising Shield Hero Anime Review, episode number 23. We're here reviewing the 43rd episode of the series, Each of Their Paths. Now, you're probably curious, Nick, didn't you say yesterday you could do Girlfriend next after you did the Comic Corner? Yes, I did. The main reason why I want to get this one out of the way, so I'm not basically having to drag this wait to this one for a long period of time. But don't worry, Girlfriend will be the next anime comic cover. Don't worry about that. That one is definitely next, and then I will cap it off with Spy X Family. Yep, and then pretty much with tomorrow, it'll be on to basically the final episode, Core One, of the Misfits of Demon Academy, effectively wrapping up the particular story arc for that one. I'm looking forward to it. So, in this particular episode, they cover pretty much the rest of Chapter 10. And, let's see, they also cover Chapters 11 to 14, about halfway through Chapter 15 of the book. Yep, so... Yeah, and by the way, Naofumi, the Spear Hero, he gets a little more screen time in the episode he does in the book, because after basically the Spear was left in that town, he wasn't in again for the rest of the book. As a matter of fact, this scene later on in the episode is complete anime original. So the whole episode is him looking for Philo, and he's not seen against he's seen the beginning part of the episode, and then he's not seen against the very end. So Naofumi has to leave the carriage behind. Philo is not happy with that, and then of course basically they're attacked by bandits, who apparently maybe they're followers of the Church of Three Heroes, because they consider the Shield Hero a demon. Yes, seriously. So they fight them and for a little while, and then Murder Parrot comes back. Yep, she comes back, and she fights him off. And now it's not questioned here, because that dialogue was cut. Now, there is dialogue. Now, I was wondering, I was watching the episode, like I look at the book, like, did they bother the question of why her voice is the way it is? Because her voice sounds very glitchy, and that's not basically the fault of the anime. That's the fault of the character. Her voice is very glitchy, where her voice, or some words get cut off. Now, in the book, basically, they do explain the reason why her voice is like that, because here's the thing. Apparently, she's from a world that was destroyed by other heroes. Yes, seriously. That's the reason why she talks that way. So, Naofumi doesn't trust her, but brings her back to the village. And slowly but surely, she makes like a little doll, gains the trust of the kids. And she's allowed technically to stay there, no problem. Probably be a protector of the town while he's away. And of course, they decide to do so. Also have a review. We see where we do see a brief scene of the Queen and Trash. That's her husband, the king. Well, the former king, anyways, because he was removed from position due to being a complete jerk to the Shield Hero. So there's a very brief scene where he's talking to the Queen about the White Tiger siblings, and that's it. That scene is literally the only time we see the Queen the whole book, the whole episode, because in the book, the chapters that this episode covers, she's in a lot more. As a matter of fact, she's informed of what her eldest daughter is up to. Now, in the previous appearance, like, apparently she's not calling herself witch. Not whore. Not bitch. Witch. I don't know why this was cut for. It's like anything involving the Queen for this episode is like cut from this episode for no explained reason. So, then we have it where the Tiger siblings, basically, we see Alta, the younger of the siblings, where she is walking perfectly fine. Still can't see, but she can walk. It shows that basically her actual abilities are improving. Yep. Yep. Yeah, her abilities her health is improving. Oh, by the way, Fall, who basically was his known friend of Raptalia's, basically calls, in a way, well, the way the sub has it, where he calls Naofumi Oni-chan, basically kind of like a big brother. Yeah, that's basically what Nafumi is referred to as to him. Basically, that's what he referred to Nafumi as big brother. Which, Nafumi does not tell him to not do that. No. He does not have an issue with it, from what I can tell. He doesn't encourage it, per se. He just doesn't mind it, per se. No, he doesn't. So, we see some training, and of course, they decide to have it where they go hunting. The siblings go along, Fo and a bunch of people. Sela is briefly seen in the episode. You know, the old friend of Raphtalia, who's kind of like a big sister to her. The one who's also got things from Nafumi. Her appearance in the episode is reduced to a 10-second cameo, where she doesn't talk. And you might be asking, Nick, is she actually in the material that was adapted for this episode? No, she wasn't. My guess is probably the reason why the studio included her for this episode, because probably the viewers like her. So why not keep her in? Because she's a popular character, so why not? I mean, yeah, here's the thing about her. She's got a thing for Nafumi, and Nafumi just basically is like, not interested at all. But she's like, ooh, I want to basically get into bed with you. Yes, seriously. I mean, she's basically lusting after Nafumi because he thinks he's handsome. Despite the fact she turns into a killer whale. Yes, so they go off hunting. What do they go hunting for? Never mentioned. Because basically they have it where they go looking for bandit. It's like that sequence, which is from the book, which is a very interesting scene of the characters going hunting for monsters, is cut from the episode for no reason. Because instead, let's go hunt for frickin' bandits. Yep. So, the group there is the White Tiger siblings, Fo, Elcanor, I think, or not Elcanor, it's the red hair woman, Raphtalia, Philo, Raphtalia-chan, basically the little raccoon thing, basically is made from Raphtalia's hair. So they all split up and go various locations. And Nafumi, walking about, presumably looking for the actual bandits, comes across the sword hero under a mask. Except he's fighting the spear hero. Now you're thinking, why the heck is a spear hero fighting the sword hero? And if you're going to ask, was this on the book? Not exactly, no. He was definitely fighting one of the heroes in the book. In the book, he was actually fighting Nafumi, not the spear hero. That's completely made it for the anime. I'm not sure why they made this change for. This was really weird. And of course, the episode ends basically looking at the sword hero and say, Ren? Yeah, he's wearing a mask for some reason. I have to finish reading. It's been a while since I've read the book, but yeah, really weird episode this one was. Like, last week was really good. This one is just, like, interesting at best, but from an adaptation point of view, at least, it's not like too much stuff was cut per se. It's mostly like, I would say the major cuts we had here was basically scenes involving the Queen. Like, anything involving her was cut from the episode, with the exception of one scene. The Monster Hut was cut, and they changed the ending. I'm not sure why they did this for. Oh, by the way, there is a brief scene here, which is from the book, which they kept mostly in here, except they kind of cut some dialogue out here. When Nafumi with Fo, and they go visit the weapons maker, who Nafumi first met back in the first episode, where he has to take one of his slaves and apprentice. And it's the one who looks like a anteater. Yes. He's one of his slaves. And, of course, apparently they know each other. And apparently he accepts taking him as an apprentice. I'm glad they kept that in, because that was a really cool scene. And also they brought up the fact that Nafumi brought material from the Spirit Tortoise to, well, make weapons of. And all he made was a couple shields. One that's really heavy. The other is basically it's very fragile, like a plate. Yeah, I think the scene itself is fine. I'm glad the fact they kept it in, because I thought this was definitely important to keep it, because having him show up here is always a good sign, because anytime Nafumi shares screen time with the weapons maker in this series. It's always good. These two have great chemistry on screen, and it's probably one of the highlights, I think, of the series itself. Is Naofumi interacting with his weapons maker. But at least he's not, going to the slave market buying slaves. He's not doing that here. But I would definitely say this episode was good. Mostly, I say it's mostly good anyways. There's nothing really bad about this episode, except the ending just was kind of out of left field, where you see a spear with spears covered up, and then by the end of the episode, it's uncovered for no reason, and he's fighting the sword hero. I don't get it. It's weird. But yeah, that's a particular view. Next up, we have one common corner, and then we're on to girlfriend. Okay, next view. Bye.